Alright, welcome back to another Art of War 3 replay. I'm your host, JEONG SINAH, and today we're going to be doing the Birthday Tournament. I'm going to be the blue Confederate player, and my ally is going to be a Medalist Resistance player. And let's go ahead and get into it. We got an exciting battle lined up here, so we can see that I'm HQ2 already. I've got 5 supply centers out, and I'm going to go ahead and tech up to HQ3 here, upgrading double assault vehicle factories, and also getting a special vehicle factory out just in case I'm going to need some typhoons, and of course upgrading my barracks to get some infantry out. So we're going to scout onto the red player. Red is already HQ3, has quite a few factories out, so red definitely has better upgrades than me for this particular engagement from what I'm gathering, considering the speed at which they're able to develop. So I'm going to go ahead and start to try and develop my army here. Red's got a pretty full base again, so they've got the infrastructure to pump units out. We're going to go ahead and see what kind of army we can get out. So we can see there's a few containers on the battlefield. I'm going to go ahead and try to secure those. And look at this, Red's got a pretty large army already at the container here. So I'm going to see if I can capture this container, launched a pretty big assault here. And we're doing a good job thinning up the herd here from the red player, but red is going to capture that prize container. And they're starting to actually slowly push me back here. I don't know if I have enough ground troops actually to counter. Pretty even matchup at this point. Red is applying some good pressure onto my base here at this point. I'm going to go ahead and retreat and try to regroup closer to my base while firing onto the red player's units. We can see there's quite a few dragonflies, armadillos, and infantry in the mix here, so we're going to need some hammer tanks, heavy assaults, maybe some fire assaults for any infantry, as well as typhoons in the mix. And we can see that red is just continuing to relentlessly pump out units. Red has quite a few units here, just trying to capture this container. We see a porcupine there from the red player providing some of that anti-infantry support. Got a couple fire assaults there. Weren't quite microed correctly, and now they're going to get taken out by the red player. We can see at this point, red is just camping outside my base here. I'm trying to get some kind of standing ground army to actually get the red player away from my base and give me some breathing room to work with. So we're locked in another engagement here. We see armadillos and infantry mixed together. My hammer tanks and infantry are trying to push the red player back, and we're going to see that red is going to finally retreat. So I've got some breathing room to work with now. And I'm going to see if I can capture this container. Red is collecting a lot of resource containers on the battlefield though, so I need to be careful. Red might be planning something. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get a scout, and that's a lot of armadillos in the mix there. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can intercept the red army here. So red's moving their army across the battlefield, and look at the size of red's army. Red has a huge army here, and we can see there's tons of armadillos. I am in trouble here. I have nowhere near enough ground troops to take on the red player, and if red decides to attack my base right now, I just might lose the game. So looks like red is going to retreat for now. But we can definitely see that red's got superior upgrades to me and somehow has a stronger economy than me. So we're just trying to get a standing ground army to defend with. I need to keep scouts on all sides, so I'm going to send an infantry out to scout. And look at this, red's launching a mass armadillo assault onto my base here. I need to get into position. So I'm going to go ahead and get into position. I'm trying to produce more units. I'm going to drop down some walls here. And here we go, major engagement about to unfold here. The armadillo is coming straight in, but my forces are right in position to intercept. And red's going to think twice about making that attack, and red is going to retreat. So I've thwarted the attack from the red player for now, but I need to be careful. If red gets into my base, it's game over. I don't like where this is going. I've gone HQ4 at this point, and I'm trying to see if I can get some heavy armor out in the form of Zeus tanks to counter. Here we go. Red's making another move onto my units here, and I have way too few hammer tanks to combat the armadillos. Armadillos are closing onto my base here, and my hammer tanks are trying to retreat, trying to get into a better tactical position. I need need to bring my infantry in. And here we go. The Armadillos are making a push onto my base here. So I'm going to throw on a gold common defense boost. Infantry starting to come into the mix. And now red is going to retreat. They're just going to do a hit and run. Looks like they're not going to fully commit at this time. So at this point, I've pushed the red player away for now for the most part. But I've got quite a few casualties on my end, and I need to get some heavier armor out. I'm going to go ahead and get some more stuff out. I'm also going to get a scout onto Red's base with this hammer tank. I haven't seen Red's base in a while, so let's see what Red's up to. We see a ton of factories from the red player. HQ5, 2 more assault vehicle factories going up. This is bad news if I let this get too far. Red is going for mass armadillos, and if I let red go for too long, they're going to make way too many armadillos for me to handle. So here we go, trying to engage those armadillos as best as I can with my army. I've got an HQ4 army along with a shield generator, and looks like red's actually going to retreat. Even though there's a ton of armadillos in the mix, I've got the heavy firepower on my side. So I'm going to go ahead and make my push here, and my plan is actually to take the fight to the red player. We can see that since red was spending resources on factories to upgrade, that takes away from resources that can be used for unit production. So I think this is now the time to strike. I don't want red to get too comfortable, so we're launching a full-scale assault now onto the red player's base. And here we go now. It's armadillos against a combined ground army here. My shield generator strays way too far into the base, and I think my shield generator is going to get taken out. But my ground troops are in full force at this point, just attacking the front of the red player's base. Red is going to need to respond, and that's exactly what I want. I've got a really nice heavy armor composition to counter armadillos. I've got Zeus tanks, hammer tanks, and heavy assaults in the mix. I've got a gold attack boost as well, just to boost the combat effectiveness of my units. And we're starting to dig into some of the important infrastructure for this red player. Red is suddenly now in trouble. What is red going to do? There's a few armadillos in the base here, but they are just getting shredded by my units, and I am taking out tons of infrastructure from the red player. We can see that there's armadillos trying to come in now, trying to defend the base. They're coming in from the side here, but I've got a really nice position to just intercept those armadillos as they attempt to drive up the hill. And we can see that there's more armadillos coming up the hill here, but my Zeus tanks and heavy assaults are doing a good job just taking care of them. Shield generator in the mix there is going to give my units some extra armor to protect them. And we can see there's tons of armadillos still streaming up from the bottom of that hill. There's so many armadillos on the battlefield here, but they are just getting shredded by my army. I'm continuing to send reinforcements as well at this point towards the base here. I've got rally points set to the base just so I can continue to apply pressure to red. My goal is to finish the game here. I don't want to let red come back onto the battlefield. So we're going to take out an assault vehicle factory there. Special vehicle factory also going to go down. And we can see that we're starting to get to some of the critical infrastructure. But red still has 5 factories to their base here. 4 assault vehicle factories and the Avia factory. Red still trying to desperately defend their base with the sniper towers and units. But I'm slowly closing on to the red player. And at this point in the game, even though there's still armadillos coming out, it's pretty much a good game. I've got units non-stop streaming in, and there's no way for red to counter me. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this battle. It's just me trying to counter mass armadillos, doing so successfully. Good luck in your battles. We will see you in the next one.
Victory.